Before I wrap up my section and go to the audience for a tiny little Q&A, why don't we go through the typical questions that are always asked at the end.
My favorite color is purple.
That isn't actually one of the questions.
I like,
believe it or not, the favorite color was not one. I was surprised that it wasn't one of them. The first one is, what is your favorite word?
Quixotic.
Wow.
That was one. They can be both our favorites.
Okay.
Money.
I don't know.
Authentic.
Employment.
What turns you on? Are you going to say her?
Michael Sorge.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Honey.
Oh, besides my wife, what turns me on is a challenge.
Besides my husband, passion. And that's in anything that I do with whoever I'm working with. I love people who are passionate about what they do.
Have you guys answered?
Yeah.
Your turn.
We've entered changes.
Enter and sign in, please.
Yeah, I guess it would be being around creative people. Being around people who are willing to play and think outside the box.
And when do you go to conventions?
Yeah, creativity. That's mine. Creativity.
A real turnoff is the whole idea of playing to the lowest common denominator. Whether that be in speech or in thought, or people who feel like we have to be spoon-fed stories or ideas or things. I say talk up to people and let them catch up with you.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Real turnoff for me is cruelty. That really bothers me. It really rubs me the wrong way when anyone's cruel to someone.
And mine is close to that. It's either disrespect or rudeness. And it's funny because people think, because I'm so out there, I'm not really being rude, I'm being playful, but rudeness, and that can be like on the freeway when people think it's totally okay to drive all the way up into a merge lane to the very end and push in and can't understand why you're going, no, you're not gonna come in, or people not being aware of what's going on around them. They're thinking that rudeness it drives me nuts.
In addition to all these things, because I'm sort of curmudgeonly and I hate many things, close-mindedness, like knee-jerk reactions. I don't care if people don't agree with me, but I don't like it when they don't think their ideologies through.
Yes.
You're full of crap.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I'm taking off my clothes. Yes.
Michael Sorge.
I got a Shapiro.
What sound or noise do you love? I'm not sure what the answer to this is anyway.
Cha-ching.
There's at my mom's house in the backyard, because I live in LA, so I don't have a yard. I got like this tiny little apartment the size of this table. But my mom's house, she has in the backyard some wind chimes. Not like the huge, enormous, like boom wind chimes, but just they're nice and they're subtle. And I just picture like being on the couch at my mom's house, eyes closed, just kind of spread out and listening to wind chimes. I don't hear cars. I don't hear traffic. I don't hear like 18 different LA freeways. I just hear the wind chimes.
Yeah.
And I'm digging.
On the joke answer is, I mean that's, but the serious
sword.
Yes, the sound of the sword. But actually my favorite sound is late summer in Texas, the sound of the cicadas. I just absolutely love that sound. And that means that I'm usually in my hammock reading a book. My dog's trying to get me to throw the ball, and I hear those cicadas. And it's just such a great sound.
That's nice. I love the sound of laughter. I love hearing laughter.
I have a lot of sounds that I like. I was also thinking of wind chimes. I love the sound of the ocean. I love the sound of the trees and the wind. I love sounds that are to do with serenity and calmness and peacefulness and laughter. Joyful, peaceful, serenity sounds.
I'm similar. I'm a Pisces and have always been drawn to water, and I love the sound of water pretty much all the time. I just love it. And I love the sound of, not to be cheesy, but I love the sound of my church as they are singing. And this is totally cheesy, but I'm just going to say it because it's still new to me and it's a blessing. I love the sound of my fiance's voice when he talks to me. It's different than anybody else has ever spoken to me. It's just different. It's informed by something completely intimate and that's unique to just us. And I think those of you that are in relationships know that feeling.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt? I didn't make these questions up. Don't look at me like that.
I'd love to be, if I wasn't an actress, I'd love to be an archaeologist because I love finding things out. I love researching. I love, the wonderful thing here in Washington is, you know, finding out the history. And sometimes the history that you find out in the history books generally is not the same history that you find if you dig. So I love digging, I love genealogy, I love researching and finding out the truth.
The real answers.
The real answers about things.
I think either an author, to be a writer, or I love throwing parties. I think it'd be fun to be a party planner. I really do, except that you have to deal with people who I guess I'm sure are difficult to make
Say one
happy.
thing this way, doesn't matter what you say.
I also think it would be a blast to those people that are on the travel shows that are like, oh,
Yes.
I'm showing you how awesome this resort is and all the great things to do here. Who wouldn't enjoy that? I mean, unless you hate to travel, you know, that would be a blast.
Yeah.
Something other than what I do now.
Be James Bond.
Well, yeah, that would be nice. Yes, of course. I think I would like if I couldn't do anything in show business and I wasn't. They finally kicked me out. I think I would like to either be like an architect or someone who takes homes and changes them around and fixes them up. And I think that would be a lot of fun to do stuff like that to redo homes and get involved with that. I think that'd be kind of fun to change that
Like
stuff.
redoing our bathroom.
Well, yeah, that wasn't fun though. That was kind of a nightmare, actually. But now that you mention it, maybe I don't want to do that so much anymore.
Like being on Trading Spaces or something like that.
I don't know whether any of you saw it.
Oh, we did
but
a clean sweep.
Richard
Oh, Clean
and I
Sweep,
did
that's what I
Clean
said.
Sweep.
Did
Did any of you see it?
No.
I did.
Did you?
I saw
Did you?
it, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember
It
you
was
talking about, with this movie, I don't need that.
And she was holding on to everything. She was like,
Yeah.
Well, some of it was planned, but they throw everything out on the lawn and they
no,
go,
just 2
okay.
rows.
That's true, that's true. And they go, okay, keep, give away, or sort. And at one point we had to take everything that was on one side of the lawn and sort it. So at the end, I said, you know, it seems like we took everything on this side of the lawn and just moved it to the other side of the lawn. In other words, we were keeping everything. So we had to go back and do it all over again.
Were you happy with what happened?
Oh yeah, I was.
For the most part, although they changed the valance in our bedroom, and it looks like calico corners. I keep wanting to change that.